Hello, I am at Hatfield Forest. It is about midnight and this place is reputedly haunted. It's somewhere that I've just looked over and never considered coming, but recently I've been looking at it and thinking that's worth a look. Back in medieval times, the whole of Essex was pretty much the hunting grounds of the royal family. This is a survival of the large forest of Essex that once covered vast parts of Essex. I think you might be able to see it better if I do that. Very muddy as well. Glad I've got my boots on. I'm just staying on the edge of the forest at the moment. It's always good to hear wildlife. If it's night time, they ain't going to be chirping, but it's good to hear some birds flapping, because it's when it's quiet and devoid of wildlife that it gets a bit ominous. Maybe a portent of something being about. It's quite strange because whilst I was looking at the map of this place and considering it as a place to go, I watched a few films just over the last week or so, and I found myself watching Unbreakable, Train Crash, the one where they die. The one where, what's it called? The one where, the horror movie where they die, where they're supposed to die and don't, and then get killed off one by one. I'll put the name in edit, but yeah, that film. So Plane Crash, and there was another one or two films. What was the other one? Oh, Castaway, which of course I've seen, but a great film. Plane Crash. And then I just happened to notice on the map of Hatfield Forest that there was a Korean Airlines crash here in 1999, and that's why I'm staying on the edge of the forest. I'm going to skirt around and hopefully get to the site of the crash. There's a lake there, but I just thought it was maybe a little sign saying yes, you need to go and visit this place. Suddenly watching 4 films with plane crashes, train crashes, 3 or 4 films, and then seeing on a map plane crash, it's to me like, well, you need to go there for some reason. So here I am. final destination. Sorry birds for waking you. As I said, there was a Korean Airlines crash. That's a lot of birds moving all at once because of me talking. Sorry birds. Don't like waking birds, disturbing them, poor things. Stansted Airport is very, very close to here. And what happened with this Korean Airlines crash, don't know much about it, but I did have a little read. The pilot was banking to the left after takeoff, immediately after takeoff, but his instruments were showing, there was an instrument error that was showing that he was going level, so it didn't show the bank. So he continued the bank, sirens started going off, and there was a warning from, I think, the navigator, because of course the co-pilot and the navigator's instruments were showing the bank, so they probably knew they were going to crash. I think the plane was empty. It was just the four crew members, 3 or 4 crew members on board that all died. And yeah, the plane's come in banking, not realising, clipped the wing on the ground a little bit further up somewhere in the forest here. Well, in a field at the edge of the forest. Clipped the wing on the ground, exploded on impact. Pilot error. But we all make mistakes. Sadly for him, it was his last mistake. Yeah, something definitely called me here tonight. Coppice. This area of woodland was once a dark and neglected 1960s commercial softwood and turkey oak plantation. It has recently been thinned to allow the remaining trees to grow on to become timber standards. Straight, free grown trees selected for their timber value. The site will be planted out in October 2010 with saplings suitable for coppicing, and these will become the understory, which will be an excellent habitat for nesting birds. The fencing is vital to keep out deer and cattle, so that a new generation of trees and wildflowers can survive without being eaten. That's why there's a lot of birds in there, maybe. It's been made perfect habitat for them. What was that? Something glowing, moving pretty fast. A pair of eyes, I think. Probably a rabbit. Hope I caught them eyes on cam. That's always freaky when you see a pair of eyes in the forest looking back at you when you're on your own in the middle of night. I'll say that in proper English. When you're on your own in the middle of the night. That's where people let their imagination run wild. The forest isn't my enemy. It isn't my friend neither. It's neutral. It just is. The forest doesn't care whether I survive, it doesn't care whether I die, it doesn't care whether I live. It's neutral, it's not a living thing. It's not against me. Please help keep this space special by using the alternative route. So this is another entrance then. So where's the lake? I think it's time to have a look at the sat nav. So I am not going to get to the crash site tonight, I don't think. I'm here. The crash site is here. But that means walking. It's a long route round, I think. Not exactly sure what the best route. This route is that gate that's just closed, so I can't take this route, so I can only go this way or this way. I think I'm going to go back up this way here. That's the plan. That route back would be that way, but I might be able to go direct straight through the forest here. I don't think so. But I can only try, can't I? At least I'm on a trail. certainly don't feel bad energy here. It feels like a nice forest. Definitely feels like spirited, whatever the right word is. It's got an atmosphere, but then it's an ancient forest, so it's had life passing through and dwelling within for certainly several thousand years. This bit definitely feels old. And you've got old trees. That looks like a property there. There's a property there, some kind of house, farm maybe. There's something in there reflecting light, but I can't pick it up. There it is. I think that's eyes looking at me. Definitely eyes. That's deer. That's deer. 100%. My light just isn't bright enough. No, they're gone. Starting to get hot now. Slow down. It's much easier just to slow down, conserve your energy rather than taking layers off. The worst thing you can do is sweat in the cold. Feels like it's getting colder here. Oh, there's definitely a coldness. The atmosphere is changing here. Oh yeah, the atmosphere is definitely changing here. Oh, that made me jump. I'm going to have to have a look at the map now. Actually, very close now. I still don't think I'm going to be able to get up there because this there is, as you can see, a fence. This fence is running up here, so I ain't gonna be able to get to it unless I cross it, because there's a fence. This is fenced in. You can't see that. This bit here is fenced in. Fence along here. That's the site of the crash. Very close, but I need to get over that fence. This fence. Oh, I don't want to climb. I'm not into climbing because I'm lazy. Well, it looks like I'm not going to get to that site tonight, so that might be worthy of a return visit. The fence isn't that, I mean, I could climb this, it ain't that high, but I'm on my own. I'm just not doing anything that's going to risk myself injury. I've got to get myself back, basically. So, and I'm not no spring chicken. I think I am just going to call that one a fail for tonight and examine the map when I get home, and maybe come up here another time from a different angle, from a different approach, different parking point, which has got better access to that. Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Woo! Probably thinking we've got a Yeti in the forest. Woo! Do some hoops. Now if I got an answer back, I would crap it. Not that we've got Sasquatch here, but that wouldn't be what you'd want to hear in the forest on your own at night, is it? Actually, looking at the map, there's probably another fence the other side, so I'd probably have to climb 2 fences. I mean, primarily I did come here just to see the forest, so I'm not too fussed that I haven't got to the crash site. Like I say, I think I will visit there on another occasion, but I'll make the most of my time here tonight, and I'm going to take a walk round, basically do a big loop back to the bike. At the moment though, not really any bad vibes. It's getting a bit atmospheric, that last bit, but actually I feel okay now. As okay as you can feel on your own in the middle of the night in woods, haunted woods, forest, ancient forest. It's definitely colder here, this end. I can still feel that coldness now I'm walking. But it might be because there's a lake over there. Don't know if there's a river nearby. I could have gone down here. It could be a depression in the land. Cold always sinks to the depressions, I think. Just running along this fence. At least if I stay by this fence I know where I am. Can't really get lost. Being watched. That was something big. Worthy to mention, the infamous black pumas, black cats, melanistic pumas, whatever you want to call them, ABCs, alien big cats, have been sighted around here. Again, I think even with a puma, cougar, whatever, it's going to be more scared of us than we are of it, unless you're unlucky and you turn a corner and confront it, or you catch it with its young and corner it, then it's going to run. When people see them, they don't see them for long. Now that is an animal. That's an animal pathway. Now if I was going to set a snare, that would be the place I'd set it. You can't really see it on the camera with infrared. By the way the wire's bent up, that's where animals are pushing through. That would be a perfect place for a snare. You can see all the there's all basically hoof marks, prints. Definitely an animal track, that. There's loads of deer over there. And I think I'm going to have to backtrack anyway. God, there was quite a few pairs of eyes over there. Yeah, I'm not climbing. I can get around here actually, can't I? Looks nice and lazy. Ooh. Old man. So I reckon if I head down this way, that might be heading back towards the bike slowly, or it might be heading in a completely different direction. Well, it's very, very dark and misty here. I do like to occasionally just check behind me and that I'm not being stalked by a big cat. People over the world, if you don't know, there's supposed to be melanistic pumas roaming the UK. The situation was that back in the early 70s and previously, anyone could own a wild cat. There wasn't any license required or anything like that. And of course, because of the situation, the government eventually cracked down on it. I think 1976, the Dangerous Wild Animals Act or something, Dangerous Animals Act, Wild Animals, something like that. I'm sure it's 76. This law came out, basically meaning that people needed licenses. Fog's like pea soup here, by the way, so I might as well just point the camera at me while I'm talking. Yeah, so suddenly people needed licenses and proper cages, and of course they would have been regulated. So it's speculated that a lot of people, zoos would have filled up quite quickly by specimens, people handing them in. So the zoos would have been got to the point where they couldn't take no more. So yeah, it's speculated that a lot of people, rather than kill their prized pet, that they set them free. And there's been several sightings for the last, well, what, 40-50 years. certainly they could survive in the British countryside. The question is, in my mind, I accept that they probably are highly likely there, hiding. But the problem that I do have is that you would need quite a large population to maintain breeding stocks, and of course the larger population, the more likely that people would be seeing them. And yes, people are seeing them, but there isn't really conclusive evidence these days, and everyone carries mobile phones, so if they're really there, I will stick my neck out and say that within the next 20 years they will be officially discovered. So if in 20 years they're not officially discovered, then it's probably missed sightings of normal domestic cats, maybe the odd wild cat. So let's see in 20 years time. I'm on the fence. I think they could be here, but then there is doubt, like I say, breeding stocks. Can you maintain a colony spread throughout a country with limited numbers? I don't think so. Oh, this place has a nice atmosphere. That's a nice tree. That's a friendly tree. Oh, cool. I was not expecting that drop. I was not expecting that. Oh, I know that. I could go up there, or I could just carry on. I think I'm just going to carry on. Don't know where exactly I'm heading, but it feels like the right direction. It is now 1:25. It's very dark in this bit. This is a long way. This is definitely the long way round. Remembering from the map, this will probably go past the Shell building and the lake. can see something. Is it a bin? But it's not a ghost because it's still there. Oh, me. Bunny rabbit. Oh, that was a freak out. Sheep grazing ahead. That's a nice tree. Nice majestic tree. An oak. That is an old tree. If only trees could talk, that'd have a lot to say. And I'm going to just say hello. A lovely tree. Another old, one of the old trees. You got to have respect for the old forest giants like that. Thought I heard something. That silence is golden. I'm hoping to see a road down here very soon. Can't be that far. Is that a monk jack? I think. I don't know. Looks a bit big, but I'm sure the head shape is a monk jack. I might be wrong. I don't know, my dears. And he's gone. See if I can get closer. How cool was that? I love interactions with nature like that. And wasn't too worried about me because I was being very quietly, and it just don't expect people here at this time of night probably. If I was crashing around, of course that'd be gone in an instant. I can still hear him behind me now. See if I can get closer. As you can see, I'm up by the road here now, so something else in the forest. Just send them birds scary. think I shall leave him to his food. He ain't too bothered about me being here. I've got my torch on. Literally been standing about 20 foot away from him. I am now only about 20 foot away from him. He's just cleaning, not too bothered about me being here. Yeah, hello mate. I know you can hear me. Having a clean. Having a little sit down, having a nice rest. I'm talking, he's not even bothered about me. Not that far away. Look, that looks further than it is. That's about 20 foot. He's just sat there. I could get closer, but I don't want to make him run. He's got a bad leg especially. Let him be. He's quite happy and content with me here. That's funny, look, just chilling out in the woods. I think that for me is a night. It's time to call it a night. I can't even speak proper English tonight. I'm speaking gobbledygook. God bless you, little creature. See you later. Hope your leg gets better. I don't want to disturb him now. I'm just going to walk slowly away from him. Let him know that I'm not a threat. And just leave him be. That is the road, so I should very soon come back to the motorbike. I hope. If I'm in the right place anyway. There's a path there. I could have just quite happily sat there and chilled with Mr. Monkjack. Any monk's a friend of mine. I can see a sign which looks to me like I have got back to where the bike is. Oh, unfit. Nice little adventure. Well, that is it. Couple of hours. Yep, nearly coming up a couple of hours in Hatfield Forest. It is 2:15 AM and I'm heading home. Bye for now.